11th, 2004, about 7 o'clock in Virginia. Today I reached in Blacksburg, Virginia, driving all day yesterday and today so far. Driving from Oshkosh, Wisconsin to finish my driving part of the move from San Francisco, California to Blacksburg, Virginia, where I'll be going to medical school here at VCOM. This is a medical school building, and we are at VTech, or Virginia Technology University.
So again, welcome. I'd like to just run over a couple things in the program today and then introduce you to a couple very special people. After the welcome today and an overview of our curriculum, all of the students are asked to stay here in this room. And the spouses and guests, we'd like to invite you to, after the welcome and an overview of the curriculum, to go on a tour of our campus so we can show you where your student doctor is going to be spending the next 4 years. And we also have a panel of some of our current spouses, family members, and guests that we'd like to invite you to sit in on so you can learn a little bit more about what VCOM is all about. If you go on the tour and the panel, you'll meet up with your student doctor at the end of the session that we have here on financial aid. And so you won't be separated for too long. You'll just be separated for a little while, and we'll have you meet up with them at the information fair and, of course, lunch. At the information fair, we have information about housing. We have information about the area here in Blacksburg. We have maps of the area and a lot of things to acclimate you. We also have information in regard to scholarships available through the military, the Health Profession Scholarship Program. So we were real pleased that we had representatives from each of those who wanted to join us today and give you some freebies and tell you about some of the opportunities there. There's also information, as I mentioned, about housing, and if anyone is looking for a roommate or is looking for housing across the street, we heard that just recently a couple apartments became available, so you're welcome to chat with me afterwards and I can direct you to the appropriate people there. Okay. Are there any questions about today's events? Great, well then I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Jim Wolf. Dr. Wolf received his PhD in chemistry from Indiana University, and following an appointment as a research associate at Duke University, he joined the chemistry faculty at Virginia Tech, where he served both as the head of the Department of Chemistry, the vice provost for academic affairs, as well as a faculty member, and we're pleased that he is now VCOM's president. So I'm pleased to introduce Dr. Wolf to you.
Bill said just hold this, you won't have it very long. Well, what a pleasure to welcome you to this introductory session to what's coming next year for some of you. Not all of you will be here. I haven't seen so many parents and family members since I went to church camp in the 8th grade, so I'm so delighted that so many of you have come to participate in this. When we do this, I wanted to point out this is the newest College of Osteopathic Medicine in the country, and it's the only one that really has a strong research mission. And one of our research projects that we've been working on is in evidence here in the front. This is some work we've been doing on the Atkins diet. I should take the rest of it. That's about all I wanted to say. I would welcome you. And when we do this, when we start with a new group of people like you all, we have this great feeling of confidence, which I hope that you will share with us. And that confidence is, first of all, that we can provide to you as students the very best medical curriculum to make you the very best doctors that you can be. And we hope that you will be confident in joining us, that you will be the very best physicians that you can be. So we're looking forward to that as we begin the fall semester. But before we do that, we have a few months to gather our strength and do other things. And so we want you to enjoy yourself with us today. I want to thank you again for coming. And would you like me to introduce Dr. Rollins, or do you have our complete CV there?
I have a short version.
We have a shortened version of Dr. Rollins' CV, which Mr. King is going to read to you. This person, Bill King, and Dean Rollins are people who you will just love to be associated with. It's been my great pleasure in nearly 40 years of academic experience to be associated with them and some of the best people I've ever seen. And the students that we have now in this group that are coming in are going to be the best students I've seen for a long, long time. So thank you for coming. I'll look forward to meeting and greeting each one of you today. My wife Nancy will be here at lunchtime. She loves interaction with these student groups more than anything. So look for her at lunchtime. She'll be cutting the sheet cake. I don't know how big a sheet cake she's gotten because we didn't know how many people were coming. I told her to get something maybe 15 by 15 feet might do it. So we'll see what she shows up with. Bill, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, as Dr. Wolf mentioned, I could talk about many of the accolades of our dean. I can tell you that among many of her accomplishments, she's board certified in both emergency medicine and in family medicine. And she's also served as a director of medical education, as a family practice residency director, and that she served on a multiple number of committees through the American Osteopathic Association for accreditation. That includes both on the medical school and the graduate level. Also, I could identify a lot of things in regard to her previous positions at the Kirksville College of Osteopathic Medicine as Associate Dean and Interim Dean. But I think what really is one of the most important accomplishments and one of the things that we're very proud of is that Dr. Rollins was nominated for and was chosen as the Soma Northrop Award winner. And that's an award for a national instructor and a national contributor to the osteopathic medical profession. The reason I think that's very significant is because our students nominated Dr. Rollins for this award, and then students across the country voted and chose her based on her credentials and what she's contributed to the osteopathic medical profession. So we're all very proud of that. So I'd like to introduce to you your dean, Dr. Rollins.
Forgot the pocket thing. Well, that may make us all sound intimidating when Bill introduces us. Well, you can tell we're not really intimidating administration by our president's introduction, right? We're really excited about having you. And what we found from our first year class, and I think it's going to be true of the first 4 years, is to be a student in a new school, you're really a pioneer. And you have as much to do with the formation of that school and with the success of that college as the administration or the faculty do. And we found that it has brought us some really great people. And as we've interviewed through the second year, and although I may not have this time got to meet each of you individually, I guarantee you I looked at all of your credentials and everything that you said and everything that people said about you individually. And I'm just as excited about this class as the last class. And they're excited to get you all here because they're trying to be the only students. So basically, I'm just going to give you a few things that I think are very special about the college. Our mission is probably the most special thing. And, you know, in this country, we're facing a tremendous physician shortage. And it's one of those things that you can't believe people aren't talking about more. There's no way that we're not going to reach the 50,000 position shortage by 2010. Even though some new schools are starting and things to try to bring that number up, there will be at least a 50,000 position shortage across this country in the year 2010. Now, if you think about how long it takes you to get an appointment now, or get certain people taken care of who might not have funds, we talk about access to health care now. Access to health care in 2010 is just going to be that much more tremendous. So you are really going to be making a contribution to the well-being of the citizens of this country. We do have, as Dr. Wolf alluded to, a mission to provide scientific research that will improve the health of all humans. I believe that's a commitment of every medical school and an osteopathic school, because we look at things from more a preventive medicine, a wellness perspective, and there certainly is not enough research in prevention and wellness. The building was completed in June 2003, so those of you who take the tour, that's kind of a fun thing about the school. We being something brand new. And we began our first class in August, so we were glad to barely get moved in just before then. And short of having a fire in the dean's office, it was great. We wanted to make it more challenging. This is who you'll be going class with. Now, I will tell you a funny story. Since we posted your pictures here, it's just been a constant crowd by these. So if you think they're not waiting for you all to get here, they're sizing you up. So we just have a great class. They have a great attitude. The camaraderie you build at a medical school is unique because you're going through a very big experience together. You know, you go through 6 blocks where you kind of sweat till the end of the block and got that one through. And you have some real challenges, and it's a difficult material, a difficult curriculum. So it's really an experience that you have to go through together. We have an attitude among our first-year students that I hope continues with you all, that we have a peer tutor program. When some students have trouble with one thing, it's not the faculty who had rallied to fit our students, and they formed peer tutor groups and peer study groups. And I can tell you that we still have all the students we started with. So if you all have that same attitude and that you're in it together, then I think that you will have the same success as a class. We're proud of a lot of things at the school. I'm just talk a little bit about the technology. One of the things, of course, is the library. If you go to the library today, you're not going to see a lot of textbooks, but that's because we have a fully electronic library. So we have over approximately 200 texts, and hopefully by the end of the year, 800 journals. It takes a while to start getting all this stuff going with your different vendors, but right now we have over 500. We will have over 800 when we're complete journals. And in the library, laptops are required. Be sure to know those laptop requirements before you buy yours, please, because we are wireless throughout the building. And if you don't have the laptop that works, you'll be behind everybody else. So we do in the library have those 33 computers, so if your laptop goes down, you're not totally without. And we also even have some laptops that we check out if yours has to be worked on. So if you're saying, where will I eat while I'm there? We have a cafeteria, local delicatessen in town. Our Daily Bread provides breakfast and lunch. And it's a very pleasant looking area. Now there may end up being a little construction off the back of that because we do have a NIH grant in for an $8 billion research building to be added. So there will be a little construction off that, but we will preserve the student lounge and cafeteria. So what's so great about VCOM is some things I want to talk to you about. And what we're trying to do here is provide a high-quality curriculum and a high-quality medical school you can be proud of. I know it's scary when it's a new school, especially for the first 2 years. And so we're working at making the best so that when you graduate from this school, that they'll say, you went to VCOM? I know it was a good school. Some of the things we've done that shows that we're working toward that is, in order to get accredited, you have 2 site visits prior. And we've had a site visit since being opened in. And there were no deficiencies found in the first 3 site visits. That's historical for any medical school. In fact, most of them have to get a few false starts before they can enroll students. We also received several commendations. This year we received a commendation for facilities and all the electronics and the things we provide, the up-to-date equipment. We received one for our curriculum and assessment process. And we received one for, I lost faculty. I don't know. Isn't that awful? Research, yeah, I can forget that. we went for our research. And so what else can you ask for when you've covered all accommodations for all of your 3 major areas that you're trying to, be successful in? And so you're not, I just want to, there's a reassurance in that, I hope. And we also, on our state inspection, received no deficiencies, and I've already been awarded the ability to grant a degree by the State Society. You cannot receive that nationally until the start of the class before you use 4th year. We are fully accredited, but you can't award, they won't give you the ability to award a degree until the start of that year. To show you the types of successes we had, in our first year of operation, we've been recognized as one of the Virginia successes in the recent the Governor's Conference on Healthcare for the Underserved. As far as curriculum and the curriculum and assessment process, we have so many things that are unique about our curriculum. One is that we're striving to achieve a totally electronic curriculum. And we're not to where I want to be yet, because I want to be when you walk in to be able to hand you a couple of discs, and that's all you have to have when you're here. But we're not there yet. But we are online, every course. So you won't be getting a lot of handouts. You will be, it's available to you online on Blackboard. And that's something we require of every course. You also will take a lot of your tests online. Some of you take on Scantron sheets just so we can give you quick results and quick percentages and make sure that all of our test items are valid, because we challenge our faculty to that type of a level, that we look at item validity and test validity and challenge our faculty to deliver a high quality curriculum. The fun thing about the curriculum is it's fully integrated. Now, this was, of course, fun for a dean to come with a clean slate, because if you have a lot of, or if ever seen curriculum committees to try to get added, hours added, or anything changes, just a horrible task. In fact, it was about glacier speed. And so we were here with a clean slate, so we could do it and make it interesting from the start. So we put clinical material all the way into the first year, the biomedical year. So we did not lose all the biomedical. We didn't go to a full case-based format, because medicine is moving so much to a cellular level. When you're talking about looking at people genetically before you treat them and what would be successful, you're going to have very good knowledge of basic sciences. So we didn't want to lose all of our basic sciences. So we have basic sciences, but in each of those, and with each of those years, we've integrated a clinical curriculum that correlates with what you're learning in basic science. An example is, when you're learning the anatomy of the shoulder, you're going to be shown some cases that shows you why it's important to know the anatomy of the shoulder. And what goes wrong with that ligament, what goes wrong with that attachment, what limits that motion. And so those clinical cases are integrated right in, and it makes your curriculum a lot more interesting. We also have a clinical skills course that starts in block 2 of the first year. So you start learning how to interview patients, how to examine patients with each system you're learning, and what some of the abnormals will look like. And this shows some students on their first clinical experience, which was in Block 3. Our facility, again, I said we received a commendation toward that, or wireless throughout. These are the highest end projectors. If we turned all the lights out, we could show you what it looks like once a month when we do dinner and a movie. Because we believe that there shouldn't be a big distance between students and faculty, and therefore we have some nice events that we have together, and one of them is have a potluck dinner and a movie. But I will tell you that Spider-Man 2 will look better in here this year than it will in the movie, because it has a real 3D effect when you do that. We have polycom boards in all our small group rooms and our clinical labs, and again, electronic library, comfortable classrooms. You don't have any hard fold-out, swing-out chairs there. And we've tried to do everything we can to make it a great learning environment. Some of the things that we have, some special programs, we have one of the premier sports medicine programs in the country. We brought here Dr. Burlinson, which many of you will meet, maybe some of you already know. But Dr. Burlinson is known in both the allopathic and osteopathic medicine world as probably the leading primary care sports medicine physician. And he's been in charge of, prior to him, as the #1 fellowship in the country, the most competitive one. And we brought him here this year. I'm happy to say we'll start our sports medicine fellowship. And so we're preparing some postgraduate opportunities too as we go along. Also, we have brought in other really top-notch sports medicine docs to try to make this team complete. One from Michigan, one Michigan trained and one Pittsburgh. So we thought we could get some inside information on Pittsburgh, but now we don't need it. Those sports medicine docs, the good thing is they'll be teaching you every Thursday afternoon. They're going to teach you your musculoskeletal skills in your manipulative medicine course. So those are the kind of docs teaching you every week. You have them in all fields, though, in preventive medicine, in family practice, in pediatrics, internal medicine. Every Thursday, they're the people there teaching your clinical skills lab. We have a state-of-the-art research program. And before we started our first class, we have to have faculty at least here a year planning. While they're here planning, they were able to get to $4 million of external funding, and we're at $12 million by the end of this year. So that'll tell you what a rapidly growing and expanding research program we have. And these same skilled faculty investigators are the ones that are going to be bringing you your expertise in biomedical sciences. And we spent a lot of time interviewing these people to make sure they were as excited about teaching as they were about their research. That's very important. And, we had 184 applications. That'll tell you what we had. We had a lot to choose from. That was with one call for faculty for our first group. And so we were able to really be selective, and so we were able to look at more than someone's research, but how dedicated they were to teaching, how excited they were about the job. We tried to get something a little closer to your age on a lot of them, and make it a little more fun. Medical missions. I think this is probably, we've been able to do more here than I even anticipated. One of the goals, personal goals I had when I came was that we would have a medical missions track. So if somebody wanted to be a medical missionary, this would be the place for this, to attend school. For a number of reasons, but besides that, if you have it there, every one of you should practice some altruistic care. That should be something that's in your heart from day one. And if I have those experiences for you, you'll know what you get back from altruistic care just by being on some of these. So we've had students already. March was the first trip. The students went to El Salvador. Some of our students went to El Salvador and just had a wonderful experience. I can't tell you how much they enjoyed that. We have a group going next month, in July, to Guatemala. And there's a lot of opportunity for you as a student to do these types of things. They're really volunteer in the first 2 years. They're not part of your core curriculum. But by the 4th year, when you have the skills to be more independent with the people that go with you. You can actually take those as electives and spend 1 to 2 months providing care with some supervision. So it's an excellent program. This is another excellent program, and I got Dr. Scariotti wave. Dr. Paula Scariotti is in charge of this program and has definitely exceeded my expectations with it. It's the Bio Wellness Program. This is a program that adds balance to a demanding medical curriculum, helps you stay healthy. So we encourage, good healthy social activities, physical activity, and it's a mind, body, spirit approach to medical school. And I can't tell you all the things it involves because it would be the whole hour here. But these are just some pictures of some of our bio-wellness activities. And the students participate, and it does help continue to build that feeling of camaraderie. I'm going to introduce next to you Dr. Haram Misra. I will go ahead and introduce him and tell you that if I brought Dr. Misra's CV in here, it would be about this thick. In fact, when I got his CV, I was a little intimidated. He doesn't want me to talk about it anytime. And he's been a professor at Tech for, do you want me to say that? Huh? 20 years, that's all he's going to have me say. And Dr. Misra's research is in environmental toxicology. He just is a renowned researcher. He sits on many NIH review committees and is well respected throughout NIH as well as this campus. The thing I can tell you the students respect about him is there's not anyone with a bigger heart. And when you have an associate dean for the first 2 years, that's what you need. And I can't say about how much, I can't go by his office without there's always a student in there. I have to wait in line all the time to talk to him. But he runs an excellent program for us, and I'll let him speak next.
Thank you. Welcome you all and VCOM. I'm here to talk to you about the first 2 years curriculum. This is mostly the basic science curriculum. From the outset, I must admit that the basic science is tough. Many medical colleges, basic science is considered as weed out courses. But here we will work together and make our journey so that we will build layers. You have to have a strong foundation, and then we'll build layers until you become most knowledgeable, caring, compassionate doctors in 4 years. Okay? The curriculum, first year curriculum is, I must also say that we have a unique curriculum here. It's not based on semesters or quarter systems that you are used to. We have a block system. Some blocks will be 12 weeks, some will be 10 weeks, some will be shorter ones. And they are based on various systems learning. So this is a system-based curriculum. The block 1 is the foundation of medicine. Block 2, you will learn the cutaneous, hemopoietic, and lymphatic systems. Block 3, you will learn muscular and skeletal systems. Block 4, just completed by the first year students, eye, ear, and a neurological system, the toughest block there. And block 5 is cardiovascular and pulmonary system. Block 6 is the gastrointestinal and endocrine systems. This will be all taught in first year. The biomedical curriculum in the block 1, first thing you are going to learn is microbiology, immunology, biochemistry, genetics, reproduction, and embryology. And along with that, there will be epidemiology and population health. Most of the basic science courses you will learn, it will be clinically correlated. So you will have a lot of clinical correlations there. Once you complete those courses, you will be joining in white coat ceremony. And block 2 to block 6, for each of the system, you will learn anatomy, histology, physiology, clinical case correlations, early clinical experiences. Our anatomy lab is a state-of-the-art anatomy lab, and as Dean Rollins said, that we not only have excellent faculty, but also we have a state-of-the-art facilities here. And excellent air exchange in anatomy lab. You might have seen in many medical colleges, anatomy lab is always in the basement, dungeon there, smelling lab. But here we have it in the third floor with a great panoramic view there, and you won't smell a trace of formaldehyde.
Learn and use some of your clinical skills even in the first year. As Dr. Misra said, some of that tends to be boring and dry that first couple of years. And we take that away from that with the clinical cases and bringing in some opportunities to visit with real patients. Our early clinical experiences are curriculum specific. They focus on patient communication, cultural sensitivity, and the whole patient considerations. We bring in the osteopathic component considerations very early on and allow you to see many aspects of treating the whole person. Your physical exams are based on the system that you just learned, such as the first thing that clinically that you were able to express would be the history. So the block following, when you learn how to do a history, you actually go back to our geriatric facilities and do a history on real patients. And the students and the patients enjoy this so much. Our patients that have met our students ask their physicians about the students. They've gotten to know them a little bit, really interested in being part of this teaching process as their patients. And students, their first time out on their clinical experiences, when they came back, just the spark and enthusiasm they had was just a great thing to see. And so we continue building on that, once again, the layers. So you can use the things that you learn right away. Also, there are elective screenings that you'll be able to take part in through your various clubs. A couple of weeks ago, the Pediatrics Club went out to Whitville, and participated in some physical exams. Also, the mission experiences are available, as Dr. Rollins said, those are elective basis. I'm sure any of the students that went on that first mission would love to talk to you and share their experiences. And then we'll roll those out over all 4 years. As I said, the early clinical experiences occur primarily at geriatric centers, but also affiliate hospitals are involved in that. The first couple of times they've been out, the students have gone to geriatric centers and also the Salem VA. In year 2, we just keep building. We'll do several different things. As your knowledge increases, we'll also have patients come in and with some of the disease processes that you're learning about and share their experiences. You'll be able to examine in the small group rooms upstairs. Also, we'll have you evaluate in ambulatory settings. There'll be pharmacology rounds and hospital visits. So appropriate to the level that you're learning. In year 3, this is when you actually go out in your full-time clinical experience. This is when you actually leave the classroom here and you're out in the field, so to speak. You'll spend 4 to 5 days a week as an active participant in patient care. Your experiences will be ambulatory and hospital. About 50% of that you'll spend in our core rural hospital sites. Those are, there's 14 of them. They extend as far as 3 hours away. They're not really something that you'll want to commute for because you really need to be available and really experience that community, experience what your physicians do within that, and just become a part of that community while you're on that. And the hospitals are working on helping you out with some housing, and we're collaborating with them on that. And then the other 50% of the third year is spent in rural in the more urban, larger community hospitals, such as Louisville and Salem and Salem VA, those types of experiences. Here's a small group of some of our 14 affiliated clinical hospitals. You'll see, although some of these are designated as rural hospitals, they're really a larger size than what, in my experience in the past in clinical settings in Missouri or Oklahoma, usually rural hospitals are very small, don't have a lot of facilities, but these actually, since they draw from a larger community of outlying areas, they're really able to provide a lot of specialty services and just some great experiences for you. MS3 and 4 clinical experiences include family practice, internal medicine, surgery, radiology, emergency medicine, critical care, psychiatry. We have a strong geriatric component too, due to our aging population, pediatrics, and OB-GYN, and then particularly in the 4th year you have medical selectives, surgical selectives, and electives. The 3rd year is a core set of rotations where you will be going specific places that are outlined. There aren't any elective times that 3rd year. It's 10 months, like I said, about 50%, so about 5 months in rural areas and about 5 months in more urban areas. And then the 4th year, you have an opportunity to, within reason, start making some more choices about where you might want to end up as far as your residency, catching up on things that are an interest to you that you feel like you're not quite prepared for, or learning more about an area that you might want to spend the rest of your life in. Then also that 4th year there'll be opportunities for international experiences too that we're developing early on here.
May 22nd, 2004, VCOM's Accepted Student Day. So basically the first year students, class of 2007, are given a party, so to speak, informational party for class of 2008, which is me. Hamburgers, hot dogs, stuff like that out here. A lot of people, accepted students and their parents, showed up. They're scattered throughout the yard here in the back.
This is a lot better than where we were before.
Now I'm going to go inside the building. Dayush, what's up? Hi, Patty. Here's inside where they have the food.
There should be.
Of the classroom. Front of the building. It's beautiful around here.